So, I have been invited less than 3 weeks ago to present a TEDx talk on entrepreneurship, green entrepreneurship, and sustainability. And given the small amount of time I had to prepare myself, I was very stressed. So I made sure to watch as many TEDx talks as possible on the subject and make as many researches as possible. And I came to a quick and sad conclusion that everything that I initially thought I was going to talk about has been talked about before many times over. Also, when it comes to TEDx's, many TEDx speakers throughout the world have already presented very interesting but yet conflicting ideas on the subject. Because some of them are saying that sustainability is dead. Others are saying that sustainability is literally the best thing ever. Some say that green entrepreneurship is easy. Others are saying that no, it's very hard. Some say that recycling is pointless, and others say that recycling should be mandatory. And after watching all of these talks, this made me even more confused, even more stressed, and even more anxious. And I wondered, what could I possibly talk about? And luckily, I have a master's degree in automation engineering. And in my study field, we study what we commonly call optimization, which can be defined in very different ways, such as maximizing or minimizing a set of functions in order to find the optimums of a system with given constraints. Or, in simpler terms, finding the best solution possible. So, imagine with me. Let's say that we have, with today's hit, a nice ice cream shop. And through the process of making delicious ice creams, we have, of course, a different set of functions. With optimization, we can, for example, maximize for profit, maximize the revenues, maximize the production, or minimize the cost of production, minimize the usage, minimize the time spent cooking, etc. You just name it. If we apply these principles when it comes to recycling, when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to all these green things, we obtain a solution that is inherently green. So optimization is a green solution. And being an entrepreneur myself who have failed many, many times over, like here, this is back in 2018, the little thing you see down there is a drone. So we tried to make a security drone that would fly around, take pictures, take videos, and send real-time reports to a control center. And to be totally honest with you, and to be totally clear with you, our drone could barely fly in the first place. So sustainability was not one of our main concerns. So why was not one of the main concerns? So before talking about all the advantages of optimization, I would like to share with you a few problems that I have met personally through my entrepreneurial life and I also during these types of events. First, when it comes to new startups and businesses, we have the priorities. Generally speaking, when it comes to startups and businesses, we would like to make profit and make money. And rightfully so, okay, don't get me wrong. However, sustainability cannot come at the forefront if the project is not totally well made. And the project that is not financially sustainable cannot be ecologically sustainable. Second thing, we have an issue when it comes to green labeling. Because in today's age, when it comes to green labels, the green companies often are green not by conviction, but by constraint, because they have been obliged to follow some standards, some norms, or some international restrictions. Thirdly, we have feasibility issues. It can be some technical difficulties, it can be your laws, your country's laws, it could be some limitations or external factors, and that's especially counting the developing countries. Fourthly, we have a lack of long view. We lack a long-term projection in today's day and age when everything is fast and everything wants to explode exponentially. And this approach makes today's startups picture themselves making the project, making it successful, and then selling it or closing it after 2 or 3 years and right into the sunset, which is, of course, not sustainable. And finally, when it comes to the ideas themselves have been seen before around the world and are not offering any type of novelty. Sorry for saying that. So, optimization. Why is it a solution? In the first place, it's because it's not a product or an object. It's an approach, it's a method, it's a way of thinking. Secondly, you can adapt optimization to anything, to any type of economy, to any industry, to any type of field. And thirdly, you can scale it to any size and shape it to any form. So the next logical question would be, how can we optimize? First thing is to choose a function to optimize for. It could be anything like we've seen before with the ice cream example. Secondly, we're going to need data and knowledge. The more inputs and outputs we have, the more we can optimize. And finally, we'll need to find these optimums through mathematical methods or optimization models or using AI or by soliciting an expert on the subject. So let's go back to our ice cream shop. A disclaimer, this is not going to be an in-depth lecture on optimization. I do not want you to hate this because it's maths. So just bear with me for a few seconds, okay? Let's say that on a daily basis, in our ice cream shop, we produce 300 balls of vanilla ice cream and 400 balls of chocolate ice cream, named respectively XV and XC. And we have a daily limit of 500 cones. One cone can only take one ball. Okay, so far so good. So what we see in here is what we call linear programming. And it's a simple optimization method. To find the optimums. What you're seeing here in the green is what we call the feasible region. And it represents all the possible combinations of sales between chocolate and vanilla. For example, we can sell 250 each, so 300 and 200, etc. Now, let's say that each flavor has a carbon index or a carbon footprint, one being 1.3 and the second being 1.5. The question is, what's the best combination of sales between vanilla and chocolate in order to maximize or minimize for sustainability? And after doing some quick maths, we get these two regions. The blue one being the one maximized for the carbon footprint, which is not interesting for us, and the green one being minimized for the carbon footprint, of course. And if we add other functions, anything that you prioritize, just as the cost of production, selling prices, or limiting factors like daily sales, you get something that resembles this, which is some type of visual representation of a truly optimized system that has been optimized for sustainability and also for the functions that you have chosen before. Now, this is only one of many mathematical ways to optimize, okay? There are many other difficult ones, but that add a lot of insights and a lot of precision. The good thing is we do not need to be a mathematician or an engineer to use and practice optimization. We only need ourselves to ask simple questions. What can I optimize and how can we optimize that, especially for sustainability? So let's see some examples. Let's say that I'm going to open a company, a transportation company, and I'm going to buy a fleet of vehicles, like 3,000 vehicles or 4,000 vehicles. Let's say that I am totally unaware of the type of tires that I am using and the type of engine oil that I am using. So on the long run, my fleet is going to become drastically slower. And it goes like this. A slower fleet leads to more work, leads to more carbon footprint with less profitability. Logical, right? Another example would be, let's say that we own a company of 50 persons, and we decided to hire a nutritionist, okay? This nutritionist, through his optimization methods, is going to improve the quality of life of our employees and, of course, by extension, improve the quality of work. So better work equals more profitability with less mistakes equals less carbon footprint, and you get a return on investment when it comes to the nutritionist's cost. And it could be anything else when it comes to your day-to-day life. For example, everyone here sends emails, messages, pictures, etc. When you send something, you're using data, and this data, of course, needs to be stored somewhere. And storing data in storage centers, of course, uses a lot of energy. So by optimizing your ways of communicating, you can become a lot more sustainable. What I'm trying to present to you here isn't just an approach for business, but an approach for life. The true strengths of optimization are its adaptability and its scalability, and how you can implement this to your day-to-day life at any echelon. So, in conclusion, before trying to hop on the next trend when it comes to green entrepreneurship, or looking for the most technologically advanced and eco-friendly technology of something, ask yourself, what could you optimize for, and how could you optimize that? And I want to leave you with this quote from the great Paul McCartney: there must be a better way to make the things we want, a way that doesn't spoil the sky, of the land, of the rain. My name is Ahmed Jarvi. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.